Welcome to CITC 2323. This is Elias Ladd for Lab 1, Exercise 4, Managing VM Movement. In this lab, we'll be going over running system prep on a virtual machine, then we'll be exporting the virtual machine, then we'll be using the exporting virtual machine to copy to another virtual machine, and then we'll do the setup process. Let's go ahead and begin with Exercise 1 for Lab 4. In this exercise, we'll be covering how to move a VM storage location. So let's go ahead and start on this lab. The first thing we're doing is going into our Hyper-V console to create a virtual machine. So let's open up Server Manager, Tools, Hyper-V. Actually, let's go to Server 2 on the wrong one. Okay. Then from here, we're just going to be doing new virtual machine. Next. And then specify name and location page, or we're typing test VM. And selecting store location, different location. And then we'll be typing out a different URL, so let's go to VM, and that's it. And then on the generation page, just leave one, next, and then specify 256, and then you want to use dynamic RAM for this virtual machine. Then okay. Between 32 and 32. I don't know if I'll be able to ignore this error or not. Great. Okay. Okay, so I ended up fixing the problem, and we decided around Hyper-V being 64-bit, and it needed more than 2 gigabytes of RAM to be able to allocate 256 megabytes. So let's go ahead and select use dynamic for this virtual machine. Okay, so the next one we'll be doing is clicking next for this, and then on the connection hard disk page we'll be typing testvm.vhdx in the name, and text box. And let's do 5 gigabytes for that. I think everything looks right. Names, file, location, just default size. Let's click next. And then the operating system. Just gonna leave the operating system install later option selected. And then select next. Finish. Just going to right click the test VM, and we're going to choose move, and next, and then move the virtual machine storage, and then click next, and then click the default. I guess we're just going to leave the default. Address that we typed earlier, so VM, and then we're just going to do 2. Next. drive. So let's go ahead and begin with our exercise 2 for lab 4. In this exercise we'll be moving a VM to another host. So let's go ahead and start migrating it. So we're in the server 2 in Hyper-V, and we're going to right click server 2 and choose Hyper-V settings. And then we're going to select live migration. Select use any available networks for live migration and select OK. Then we're going to log into server 1 as Contoso administrator, which we already are logged into it. We're going to go to our tools, Hyper-V Manager, okay, then we're just going to right click our server 1, Hyper-V settings. We're going to select live migration. Okay, in the incoming live migrations, we'll be selecting use a new available network. Select OK. So on server 2, in the virtual machine section, right click test VM and click move. Next, on the choose move option, leave this default selected, select next. And then for the name, we'll be typing server 1 because that's the address destination we want to migrate it towards. Select next. And then from this option, we're going to be choosing a new location. So let's do C VM and finish. Now it's performing the move right now. And test VM should appear in the virtual machine section on server 1 after the move is complete, if it completes. Okay, so let's check our server 1, and there is our test VM. Alright, and this is exercise 3 for lab 4, copying a virtual machine. So let's go ahead and begin with this lab. We're inside of server 1 using Hyper-V Manager. We're going to right click our test VM and we're going to choose export. From here we're going to type C:\\backspace back and click export. And hopefully it did it. So we're going to right click server 1 and choose import virtual machine. Then next, on this location folder we're going to type C:\\backspace back. Okay, what is going on? Back. Cannot see my keyboard, so it doesn't help typing in the dark. And there we go. I think that was the right address. Let me just make sure. Test VM. Okay. Okay, I'm going to click next. Then from here we're going to click copy. virtual machine. Next. Okay. Then we'll select store the virtual machine in a different location. Then in the virtual machine configuration folder text box, we're going to type C backspace VM2 and then same thing with that, and all three of them should be the same. Checkpoint, smart paging, okay, click next, and then for location we're going to type C then VM2. Okay, next, and finish. And that's pretty much how you export a virtual machine. And let's go ahead and connect to it real quick. Start it up. And in conclusion for this lab, we ran a system prep for the virtual machine, we did the exporting of the virtual machine, then we used the exported virtual machine to create another virtual machine, and then we ran through the setup process.